Have you ever felt like life is pulling you in every direction? Work, family, expectations, until there's barely anything left for yourself? You try to hold everything together, control every outcome, meet every demand. Yet in the end, all you're left with is exhaustion, anxiety, and that haunting feeling of being lost. But what if I told you the real solution isn't in doing more? It's in focusing less on what you can't control and more on what you can. Imagine if all the scattered energy you spend worrying, planning, and pleasing could be gathered and redirected back to where it matters most. You. What would change if, instead of trying to control the chaos around you, you chose to master your own thoughts, your emotions, and your actions? This is the powerful core of Stoicism, a timeless philosophy that has guided warriors, emperors, and thinkers for thousands of years. It's not about shutting out emotions or detaching from the world. No, Stoicism is about sharpening your mind, building emotional resilience, and focusing only on what truly belongs to you, your response. In this video, I'm going to share 6 transformative lessons from Stoic philosophy that you can start applying right now, not tomorrow, not someday, but today, to regain your energy, your focus, and your inner peace. This isn't about theory or abstract ideas. This is about action. So take a moment, ask yourself, are you really living with intention? Or are you letting your energy be stolen by distractions and worries? Because if you're ready, this journey could be the turning point. Let's begin right where it matters most. Number 1. What are you really focusing on? Think about it. Have you ever woken up already? Tired? Not physically, but mentally. You step into the day and it feels like you're caught in a whirlwind, constantly busy, yet strangely unproductive. No matter how much you do, peace and clarity seem to slip through your fingers. Why is that? We often blame work pressure, social obligations, or life's endless demands. But maybe, just maybe, the real issue isn't out there. Maybe it's inside, in where you choose to direct your attention. Picture this. You hold an hourglass, but instead of sand, it's filled with your mental energy. Every thought, every worry, every emotional reaction, they all drain it little by little. But here's the harsh truth, that supply isn't infinite. Each day, you only get so much. So ask yourself, where is your energy going? Marcus Aurelius once said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. This is the very essence of Stoicism. Suffering doesn't come from what happens around us, but from how much attention and power we give to those things. Maybe your mind isn't overwhelmed because life is too hard. Maybe it's overwhelmed because you're focusing too much on what doesn't deserve your focus. Be honest. Are your thoughts consumed by regrets about the past, or worries about a future you can't predict, or perhaps by trying to control how others see you? If so, it's like sitting in a boat that's already leaking, and instead of fixing it, you keep drilling more holes. You may blame life for your exhaustion, but if your mind keeps pouring precious energy into meaningless worries and distractions, nothing will ever change. Your mind is your home. And like any home, if you leave the door wide open, all sorts of unwelcome guests, fear, doubt, frustration, will walk right in. But when you choose to close that door and focus only on what truly matters, you'll start to feel something shift. And that's where we'll continue, because next we'll explore how to not only take back control of your focus, but also embrace what you can't control with grace and wisdom. In the previous part, we realized how much of our precious energy is quietly drained by where we focus. Now let's take this insight deeper. Imagine your mind as a beautifully arranged room. But what happens if, day by day, you allow negative thoughts, pointless worries, and uncontrollable fears to keep walking in uninvited. Very soon, this serene space becomes cluttered, chaotic, and suffocating. But here's the truth. You hold the key. You decide who or what enters. You have the power to close the door, clear the space, and most importantly, choose where to let the light in. One of the biggest misconceptions we carry is that energy is lost only through physical effort or stressful tasks. No, the real thief of our energy is much more subtle. It's the endless stream of unnecessary thoughts that quietly drains us without warning. Have you ever ended your day wondering, why am I so tired when I didn't even do that much today? It's not the tasks, it's the thinking, overthinking to be exact. Consider this. Are you worried about what others think of you? You've just handed them your energy. Are you angry over a rude comment online? A complete stranger now controls your emotions. Are you replaying old mistakes over and over in your mind? You've just wasted today's energy on something buried in the past. The world? It moves on, indifferent to your worries. But you carry the burden. You feel the weight. And when the day comes, when you truly need your strength to pursue your dreams, to endure life's challenges, you'll find that much of your power has already been silently drained by things that don't matter. So, once you recognize this pattern, you face a critical decision. Will you continue pouring your energy into meaningless places, or will you redirect it toward what truly deserves your attention? This, my friend, is where the Stoic mindset separates itself from the ordinary way of living. Stoics feel emotions just like anyone else, but they decide where those emotions belong. Instead of worrying about uncontrollable events, they focus on what they can influence. Instead of allowing others to dictate their mood, they observe without reacting. Instead of wasting time on useless arguments, they sharpen their minds and nurture their spirits. If you want control over your life, you must first control where your attention flows. I know this path isn't easy. It takes time, courage, and patience. But you don't have to walk it alone. This video is here to help guide you step by step. And here's an important truth. Directing your energy inward, focusing on yourself. It's not selfish, it's acceptance. Acceptance means letting go. Letting go of toxic connections. Letting go of the need to constantly seek validation. Letting go of old habits that no longer serve who you want to become. Of course, this is the part that often scares people the most. Why? Because change might mean leaving people, patterns, and comfort zones behind. Not everyone will come with you. Not everyone will understand, and that's okay. You can't move forward if you're always looking back. You can't build a new chapter if you refuse to turn the page. Your life, believe it or not, is not simply shaped by random events. It is shaped moment by moment by where you focus. And that leads us to the next lesson. Because even when you begin letting go, there's still one more challenge to face. What do you do when the world itself doesn't follow your script? Join me next as we dive into accept everything as it is and learn how true power comes not from controlling life, but from flowing gracefully with it. In the previous part, we realized that to truly find freedom, you must stop pouring your energy into meaningless things. But what exactly is silently pulling you back into old habits? The answer lies within your own mind. Have you ever felt like a prisoner, trapped by your own negative thoughts and worries? You want to move forward, yet somehow you're always being pulled back by memories, fears, and past failures. This is exactly how the human brain works. It's like a mysterious machine that records every experience or every joy, every pain, and especially every old wound. But here's the surprising part. The brain doesn't just store them, it repeats them. For the brain, familiarity, whether good or bad, feels safe. That's why you often find yourself stuck in cycles of anxiety, disappointment, and stagnation. Have you ever asked yourself, why do negative thoughts keep resurfacing? Why do I keep returning to the same fears and insecurities, even though I know they don't serve me? It's because your brain has locked you in the trap of the past. According to Stoic philosophy, true freedom doesn't come from changing external circumstances. It comes from mastering your reaction to them. As Epictetus once said, men are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. In other words, it's not the world outside that confines you, as it's the patterns of thought deeply embedded within your mind. If you continue to view life through the lens of failure and fear, you will be the one building a reality full of limitations. Interestingly, modern neuroscience has confirmed what Stoics understood centuries ago. The brain has neuroplasticity, the ability to change. It isn't a fixed structure. It's flexible, capable of forming new neural pathways. This means that by changing your thoughts, you can reshape your brain, and with it, your life. However, here's the hard truth that many people overlook. The brain doesn't naturally prioritize change, it prioritizes survival. To survive, it takes the path of least resistance, repeating what feels familiar, even if it's harmful. That's why breaking free from negative cycles is difficult. It requires conscious intervention. Imagine walking along a dirt path that has been worn down over years. Every time you think the same way, you make that path clearer and deeper. But if you want a new path, you must dare to step into the unknown. Through tall grass, uneven ground, and uncertainty. At first, it will be uncomfortable, but with persistence, it will become your new default path, opening the way to a new life. And when you begin that journey, you will naturally be ready for the next challenge. How to consciously create new habits of thinking and acting that truly set you free. This is what we will explore next in the following part. Recognizing negative patterns, the first step to breaking free. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. That's why awareness is always the first step toward transformation. Imagine stepping outside your mind and becoming a neutral observer of your own thoughts. When a negative thought appears, don't immediately accept it as reality. Instead, pause and ask yourself, is this really true? Or is it just an old habit? Simply recognizing a negative thought as a habitual response weakens its hold over you. That recognition, small as it may seem, is powerful. It marks the very moment when you start taking back control, change your reaction, reclaim your power. Negativity will always arise from time to time, but how you respond to it will define your experience. Instead of falling into old patterns, worrying, fearing, or avoiding, try something different. Pause. This brief pause is everything. It's the space where freedom begins. In that moment, ask yourself, is there another way to look at this? If you continue reacting the same way, you will continue getting the same results. But when you shift your perspective, new possibilities emerge. You don't just change your feelings, you change your actions too. When you stop believing in your old limitations, you naturally begin to take new actions. Fear loses its grip. You step outside your comfort zone. Your actions create new experiences, and slowly they reinforce a new reality, one not confined by past wounds. Transformation takes time, but every step matters. Of course, transformation is not instant. Your brain will resist. It will try to pull you back to the familiar, to what feels safe. There will be moments when you feel like you're right back at square one, but that's normal. You're not failing, you're rewiring. The key isn't to eliminate negative thoughts entirely, but to recognize them and choose how to respond. Each time you choose a new response, you carve a fresh path in your mind, and with enough repetition, that path will eventually become your new reality. So, what will you choose? Are you ready to change your thoughts, to change your life? Will you continue walking down the same worn-out path, or will you dare to step into the unknown and forge something new? Remember this, your mind does not control you, you control it, and learning to master your mind and emotions will unlock the next level of your journey. In the next part, we'll dive deep into how to master your inner world so you can finally become the strongest version of yourself, mastering your mind and emotions. We've just talked about how changing your thoughts can change your life, but how exactly do you take control of your mind and emotions? Marcus Aurelius once said, "Such as are your habitual thoughts, so also will be the character of your mind, for the soul is dyed by the thoughts you nurture." Think about that. If you constantly surround yourself with fear, anxiety, and self-doubt, sooner or later, that becomes your reality. But if you plant seeds of courage, calmness, and resilience, your mind transforms into a garden of inner strength. What separates those who stand firm during life's storms from those who are swept away is not luck. It's their ability to master their thoughts and emotions. Now, this doesn't mean you should suppress your emotions. That's impossible, but you can learn to observe them without letting them control you. You can choose to respond rather than react. Have you ever noticed how you talk to yourself when you make a mistake? Do you immediately think, "I'm so stupid, I'll never get this right"? Or do you say to yourself, "I've learned something. Next time, I'll do better"? The way you speak to yourself matters more than any external opinion. If you repeatedly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I don't deserve success," your brain will eventually accept it as truth. But if you shift your inner dialogue to affirmations like, "I am strong enough," and "I deserve success," you are rewiring your mind towards positivity. This isn't about self-deception, it's about reshaping your perception and influencing your actions. Picture yourself standing on a ship in the middle of the ocean. Each thought is like a gust of wind. If you let the sails be driven by negativity, fear, doubt, anger, your ship will drift aimlessly through chaos. But if you take control and adjust your sails towards perseverance, optimism, and confidence, you'll chart your own course through the waves. Mastering your thoughts isn't about forcing yourself to stay positive all the time. It's about choosing what deserves your attention and what will push you forward. Beyond positive self-talk, visualization is another powerful tool for rewiring your mind. Top athletes don't just train their bodies, they train their minds. They close their eyes and visualize success, feeling every movement, every heartbeat, every emotion as if it's already happening. The brain responds to these mental images almost as if they're real. When you visualize success, you're sending a clear signal to your mind. This is possible. And when your brain believes it, you begin to act in ways that naturally lead you there. So imagine this. What would happen if you began every day with a strong mindset? Instead of rushing into the chaos of life, give yourself a few minutes each morning to set your mental direction. Meditation helps you observe and realign your thoughts. Journaling allows you to reflect and focus on what truly matters. Reading an inspiring passage fills your mind with empowering ideas. When you dedicate your mornings to strengthening your mind, you plant the seeds for a focused, calm, and powerful day ahead. But how do you maintain this calm when life gets turbulent? Let's explore that in the next chapter. Previously, we explored the power of shaping your mindset and how starting each day with clarity gives you a solid foundation. But even with the best preparation, life remains unpredictable. There will be moments when your mind gets pulled into a storm of unexpected emotions and negative thoughts. The goal is not to eliminate these emotions completely. That's unrealistic. Instead, the true key lies in how you respond to them. Seneca once said, "Emotions themselves are not the problem. The problem lies in how we react to them." You can feel fear, yet still choose not to act from fear. You can feel anger, yet decide not to let anger make your decisions. This is where true freedom begins. It's not about becoming emotionless. It's about mastering awareness, recognizing what's unfolding inside your mind and making intentional choices rather than automatic reactions. Mastering your mind and emotions isn't a destination. It's a lifelong journey. There is no finish line, only growth. However, each conscious step you take strengthens you from within. So where do you begin? Start with simple but powerful daily habits. Observe your thoughts. Notice what's running through your mind without judgment. Speak kindly to yourself. The words you whisper internally shape your reality more than you realize. Visualize your ideal self. See yourself acting with calm and strength even before life tests you. Set your mindset each morning. Begin the day with purpose, not chaos. When you commit to these steps, you slowly reclaim control over your mind, and when your mind is steady, the world around you changes too. Not because life becomes easier, but because you now move through it with strength and clarity. And here you are, still listening, still growing. That alone says so much about your dedication. In a world full of distractions, few people have the persistence to keep going on the journey of self-mastery, but you do. If you've made it this far, take a moment to declare your progress. Type "Mind in Control" in the comments to mark this milestone. Let it be your statement that you, not your emotions or impulses, are at the wheel now. But this is just the beginning. If you truly want to solidify this mindset and keep growing, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss what's next. The upcoming parts of this video will connect everything you've learned so far. We'll dive even deeper into how to shift your energy and take full ownership of your life. So far, we've talked about mastering your mind. But now comes the next important realization. Even if your thoughts are in check, your energy can still get trapped where? In endless loops of regrets, worries, and distractions. Think about it. Regret about the past doesn't drain your energy because of effort. It traps it in memories that can never be changed. Worrying about what others think doesn't spend energy. It freezes it inside meaningless anxieties. Obsessing over negative news doesn't wear you down physically. It redirects your energy into things completely out of your control. So the question is, how do you reclaim that lost energy without exhausting yourself trying to control everything? A Stoic would approach this challenge very differently. They would never waste energy fighting the world outside. Instead, they focus inward. They refine how they respond to life's endless surprises. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind and outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. The moment you stop resisting what is beyond your control, you stop bleeding energy into unwinnable battles. You become free from the exhausting tug of war with life's unpredictability. Instead of forcing life to obey them, the Stoics embrace amor fati, the love of fate. They don't just accept whatever happens, they turn every situation into fuel. Imagine a judo master. When attacked, they don't block force with force. Instead, They redirect the opponent's energy to their advantage. That's exactly what the Stoics do with challenges. Energy mastery isn't about bottling everything up or forcing positivity. It's about intelligent direction, guiding energy where it truly matters. But how do you prepare for moments that threaten to shake your focus? Here's their secret weapon: premeditatio malorum, the practice of imagining what could go wrong. Picture this. You begin your day reminding yourself that someone may dislike you. Plans may fail. Unexpected problems may pop up. But when they do, you won't be shocked. You won't waste precious energy panicking or complaining. You'll simply nod and say, "Ah, I expected this." This mental preparation becomes a shield. Instead of falling apart over trivial frustrations, you stay grounded, calm, ready. Above all, Stoics hold on to one essential truth: only invest your energy in what you can control. Epictetus captured this perfectly. Some things are up to us and some things are not. When you fully understand this, you begin to see how much energy you've wasted. Picture a glass shattering on the floor. You have two choices: get angry, curse, and ask, "Why did this happen to me?" Or accept reality, clean it up, and move on. The event is the same, but your energy and experience? Completely different. So ask yourself right now, what if you stopped clenching your fists and started guiding your energy instead? What if you let negative emotions pass, using them as fuel rather than chains? What if you welcome challenges as part of life, refusing to let them drain you? True control, you see, doesn't come from tension or resistance. It comes from knowing when and how to let go. Just like a Stoic swordsman on the battlefield,
real mastery is subtle. He doesn't fight every blow head-on. He shifts gracefully, letting the strike pass harmlessly by. And as we move forward, this idea becomes even more powerful, because next we will explore how to transform every part of
your life by focusing only on what truly matters. Stay with me. The journey isn't over yet. The most valuable lessons are still to come. How your environment shapes who you are. Previously, we explored how controlling your internal energy gives you power. But what happens when your surroundings constantly pull you down? Even the strongest mind can be drained if it's trapped in negativity. You can keep battling reality, pushing back against distractions, toxic influences, and chaos. Or you can choose a smarter path, redirect your energy wisely, and take control of your environment. Because no matter how well you manage your mind, if you place yourself in a toxic space, it's like trying to stay afloat in a leaking boat, far out in the middle of the ocean. Sure, you might hold on for a while, you might keep patching holes and bailing out water, but eventually exhaustion will find you. The Stoics deeply understood this truth. They knew that we are not shaped only by our thoughts, but also by everything that surrounds us, the people we meet, the habits we form, and even the information we consume each day. Like it or not, your environment plays a crucial role in determining who you become. So if you truly want to take charge of your life, you must first take charge of the world you choose to belong to. But how do we do that exactly? Let's dive into Lesson 5. How your environment defines who you are. Have you ever heard about the crabs in a bucket? If you place a single crab inside, it can easily climb out. But if you place many crabs together, the moment one tries to escape, the others will pull it back down. Sound familiar? It should. In life, your environment often works the same way. The people around you, the space you live in, and the content you absorb daily, all of this forms your bucket. And depending on what's inside, it can either help you rise or endlessly hold you back. If you don't consciously choose your environment, you may end up trapped. Another crab pulled down. Without even realizing it, the Stoics knew this well. While they taught us we cannot control the outside world, they also emphasized this: we can control our choices and who we surround ourselves with. Epictetus put it perfectly when he said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence brings out your best self." This doesn't only apply to your friends or colleagues, it also applies to your home, your workplace, and especially the information you allow into your mind. So ask yourself, who do I spend most
Of my time with?
What kind of media do I consume every day? Is my space calm and empowering or chaotic and draining? These aren't small details. They are powerful forces shaping your focus, your energy, and ultimately, your destiny. Imagine yourself as a small flame. When surrounded by other flames, those who inspire, challenge, and push you to grow, your light burns brighter. But place yourself in the middle of cold winds. Negativity, gossip, constant complaining, and your flame will slowly fade. People are no different. If you're constantly surrounded by negative thinkers, procrastinators, and doubters, they will drag you down. Like the crabs in the bucket, they'll make you question yourself. They'll drown you in self-doubt and delay your dreams. But surround yourself with people who are driven, who believe in growth and discipline, and who inspire action. You will rise naturally, lifted by their energy. This isn't just a theory, it's called synchronization. We subconsciously align with the people and environments around us. Their habits become our habits. Their mindset shapes our mindset. So, who is shaping you right now? Are they lifting you higher or pulling you down? As we continue, we'll explore this idea even deeper and uncover how changing your environment is one of the fastest ways to reclaim your focus and accelerate your growth. Stay tuned, because in the next part, we'll reveal exactly how to transform your surroundings to support the life and mindset you desire. Choose what you let in, the power of your environment. In our last lesson, we uncovered how much our surroundings, people, spaces, and influences can quietly shape our lives. But now let's go even deeper, because it's not just about the outside world. It's about the choices you make every day. The Stoics never believed in blaming fate or waiting for circumstances to magically align. They believed in conscious, deliberate action. And one of the most powerful choices you'll ever make? Deciding who and what gets access to your life. Let's start with the obvious: people. Beyond fleeting encounters, the company you keep has a direct impact on your mindset. If you constantly engage with those who drain your energy, fill your conversations with negativity, or hold you back with limiting beliefs, you're allowing their influence to seep into your thoughts. Cutting ties doesn't mean burning bridges or creating conflict. Instead, it's about setting boundaries. Not every person deserves a front row seat to your life. Ask yourself honestly, does this person inspire me to grow? Do they push me forward or keep me standing still? If the answer leans toward negativity, perhaps it's time to step back. But people aren't the only influence. Look around you right now. Your living space silently speaks volumes about your inner world. A cluttered, chaotic room often mirrors a cluttered mind. When disorder surrounds you, peace and focus become elusive. The Stoics understood that the external and internal are deeply connected. By creating simplicity and order in your environment, you naturally cultivate clarity and stillness within. A tidy space isn't just about aesthetics, it's about creating an atmosphere where ideas and focus can thrive. Now let's talk about something even more dangerous: the information you consume. In today's fast-paced digital world, Our minds are bombarded non-stop. News, social media, gossip, advertisements, all screaming for your attention. If you aren't careful, your mind becomes a dumping ground. Anxieties, comparisons, noise. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." So, what color are you painting your mind with each day? Negativity and doubt, or wisdom and inspiration? When you feed your mind only with surface-level distractions and endless scrolling, you become reactive, anxious, and restless. But if you nourish your thoughts with insightful books, meaningful conversations, and lessons from great minds, you begin to transform. You become stronger, more resilient, and far more capable of navigating life's challenges. So what's the solution? Step 1, be proactive in distancing yourself from toxic relationships. It's not about hate or confrontation, it's about self-respect. Prioritize those who challenge you, uplift you, and align with your vision. Step 2, create a space that supports focus and creativity. Whether it's a clean desk, a minimalist corner, or simply a quiet environment, make space for your thoughts to breathe. Step 3, take full control of your daily inputs. Replace endless scrolling with knowledge. Trade gossip for growth. Turn random content into curated wisdom. Your mind is your greatest treasure. Guard it fiercely. Of course, none of this is easy. It takes courage to admit that your current environment may be holding you back. It takes strength to recognize that the people you've spent years with may not fit your future. And it takes honesty to accept that too much time has already been wasted on meaningless distractions. But awareness is power. Once you see the problem, you can change it. The Stoics never wasted energy complaining about what couldn't be controlled. They took action on what they could need to, and so should you. So here's the question I'll leave you with today. If your environment is silently shaping you, is it shaping the person you want to become? Take a moment to reflect, because in the next part, we'll dive even deeper into how to not only change your surroundings, but align them with your highest self, so you can finally step fully into your power. Transforming your energy. Mastering the inner tools. In the last chapter, we learned how our environment, people, spaces, and influences quietly shape who we are. But even once you control your surroundings, there's a deeper layer waiting to be mastered, your inner world. Because no matter how perfect your environment is, your energy can still be lost if your mind lacks clarity and focus. So ask yourself, why let your life be shaped unconsciously? Why leave it up to chance when you can choose consciously? If you're serious about change, now is the time to act. Reevaluate the people you spend time with. Reflect on the space you call home. Examine the type of information you allow into your mind. This isn't about impressing anyone. This is about something far more important. You. You deserve an environment, both internal and external, that supports your growth, not one that quietly holds you back. If this message resonates with you, if it sparks even a small realization within, show your commitment. Leave a like, not just for me, but as a personal promise to yourself that you're ready to change. Because when you take this step, you're not just improving your environment, you're stepping closer to becoming the best version of yourself. Number 6, powerful tools to transform your energy. Now, we reach the final and perhaps most crucial stage of this journey. This is where you learn how to truly master your energy. Energy isn't just what pushes you through your daily routines, it's what shapes your life, dictates your reactions, and determines how deeply you engage with what
really matters. Picture this, a torch in the middle of a fierce windstorm.
Without proper direction, the flame burns brightly for only a fleeting moment before being blown out by outside forces. Your mind is no different. To sustain focus and inner strength, you need more than just willpower. You need 3 essential tools: gratitude, emotional detachment, the ability to reprioritize. Let's begin with gratitude. Gratitude is not just a fleeting feeling, it's a deliberate choice. Epictetus once said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." A wise mind doesn't drown in scarcity and longing. Instead, it finds abundance in the present. When you practice gratitude daily, you shift your energy. You stop focusing on what's missing and start appreciating what's already within your grasp. This simple shift transforms dissatisfaction into contentment, emptiness into fulfillment. And when your mind is filled with appreciation, there is little room left for envy, anxiety, or inadequacy. But gratitude alone is not enough to guard your energy. Once you recognize the value of what you have, you must also protect it from unnecessary disruption. That's where emotional detachment becomes your silent weapon. Imagine your mind as a still, serene lake. Every emotional reaction, anger, frustration, jealousy, is like throwing stones into that peaceful water, disturbing the calm. The Stoics taught a timeless truth. Peace does not come from controlling the chaos around you, but from mastering your response to it. When you observe life's challenges without letting them hijack your emotions, something incredible happens. You conserve your precious energy. You no longer waste your mental reserves on things that don't deserve them. Emotional detachment doesn't mean becoming cold or unfeeling. It means becoming wiser and more intentional. You learn to place every situation into proper perspective, not giving minor problems the power to consume your mind. So, how do you put all of this into practice? In the next part, we'll dive into the final steps of this journey, learning how to reprioritize your energy and fully take ownership of your life. Because mastering your mind is only half the equation. The true magic happens when you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions into a powerful, unstoppable force. Get ready. The most transformative insight is still to come. Where will you direct your energy? In the previous section, we uncovered the incredible power of gratitude, emotional detachment, and reprioritization. 3 pillars that steady the mind and channel your energy where it matters most. But once you master your reactions and protect your energy from being drained, there's still one crucial step left: choosing where that energy will go. Because in the end, energy without direction is like a river without banks. It floods into everything, often into places that don't deserve it. Have you ever ended a long day feeling completely drained? Not because you worked too hard, but because you spent too much time on trivial things? Maybe it was endless scrolling, worrying about others' opinions, or replaying old mistakes in your head. Seneca once said, "Time is never lacking, we simply do not know how to use it." Think about that for a second. It's not that you don't have enough time or energy, it's that you often don't decide consciously how to use it. And when you don't decide, life, with all its distractions, demands, and noise, decides for you. This is where reprioritization becomes your superpower. The Stoics mastered this art. They knew what truly mattered, and they made a conscious choice to channel their strength into those few essential things. They didn't scatter their energy chasing every fleeting thought or desire. When you combine these 3 tools, gratitude, emotional detachment, and reprioritization, something shifts deep within you. Suddenly, you no longer feel like a leaf tossed in the storm of life. You become the anchor, calm, grounded, focused. You stop being controlled by emotional triggers. You stop wasting energy on people or situations that drain you. And you stop letting worries about the future or regrets about the past dominate your mind. Instead, you become intentional. Your energy fuels growth, purpose, and true inner peace. But here's the hard truth. At the end of the day, it all comes down to choice. You can continue letting the outside world dictate your emotions and decisions, or you can step up and take back control. You can keep chasing the next validation, or begin appreciating what's already here. You can keep reacting blindly, or start observing and responding wisely. You can let your energy be scattered, or gather it and aim it at what truly matters. The choice, as always, is yours. And this is the essence of Stoicism: to realize that no one else gets to decide how you live. Only you do. Today we've explored 6 powerful Stoic lessons. Lessons designed not only to bring balance to your mind, but to guide you toward a life of purpose, strength, and freedom. But remember, wisdom is useless without action. You can absorb all this knowledge and yet change nothing. Or you can begin now. You can shift your focus inward, master your emotions, and let go of what no longer serves you. When you do, you don't just change yourself. You influence the world around you. You become a source of calm in the chaos, a living example of inner power. So, if this video resonated with you, if even one sentence made you reflect, take just a moment now. Tap that like button as your way of saying, "Yes, I'm ready to take this journey." Share this video with someone who might need this message right now. And most importantly, subscribe, because this journey doesn't end here. Together, we will continue walking this path of self-mastery, uncovering wisdom, and transforming not just our energy, but our lives. Your life is yours to shape. And that transformation, it starts right now.